What's up, everybody, ladies and gentlemen? What's
Hello
going
there.
on, Mr. Flash? How are you, brother?
Hello, hello. Good to see
Wow,
you, sir.
looking all nice. Got your hair shampooed and pulled back and everything. Looking good, brother. Almost as much jewelry as me.
I comb my hair occasionally.
Good to see you, man. Mike will be right with us. So there's already a ton of people in here. We got about 300 people watching live right now.
Oh,
What's up,
wow.
everybody, ladies and gentlemen? Yep, they're like, "Huna! House of Huna to you." What's
Hello,
going on?
everybody. Hi. Wow, that's amazing, brother.
Yeah, man, it's
Wow.
good to see you, man. It's always the feeling of energy and light. And again, this audience, as you know, is the best on the internet. I actually posted today in the group to all these folks that we're probably going to be having a big Optimized Tribe meetup for Burning Mask
Yeah.
the end of May, man. Yeah, so
Wow.
you and I just need to talk about that in the next couple of days. We will.
Yes, yes.
And by the way, Michael is coming from Mount Shasta.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello, brother.
Hello, brother. How you doing?
Very good, thank you. Mount Shasta, yes. Very good. Yeah.
Beautiful. So obviously, Jessie is not joining us tonight because she had a family emergency or a family issue. So she said she was very, very sorry, and that she said to offer her condolences, but that she has to handle her family and that she'll
Oh,
come on
oh,
another time.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
We know you can hold the fort down.
Oh, we'll hang out as long as I'm welcome, or as long as I'm welcome.
Well,
Thank
we'll
you.
cut you off in about an hour and a half for sure, but you're always welcome, my brother. So, why don't you, before we start talking about what's going on in the world, why don't you talk a little bit about Burning Mask to a lot of these folks? Because I know Michael and I are definitely planning on coming, and I know Mel K is coming,
Yes.
and I know that we have some people in our tribe who are all excited about organizing an optimized tribe meetup in you know cohesiveness with Burning Mask. So, just talk a little bit about it.
Yes, so Burning Mask, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's way out there in nature in New Mexico, Corona, New Mexico.
Perfect.
Very interesting. Burning Mask, last year during May, we did a ceremony online to pay respects and honor those who were taken during that period, as you know. And during that moment, we were live on Zoom. Um, I just suggested, you know what? I think we'll do this every year, and we'll make it an event where we can all show up. And so it had been put into motion since last year. The location, though, had been known for a number of years. Except I didn't know there was a little town called Corona, New Mexico, but I knew the area, it kind of roughly in the area where the Stargate was, the Stargate that I had activated, the first Stargate that I worked on many years ago. And so Burning Mask is truly about paying respects in memoriam to I know we would call this World War III, no shots fired, some shots fired, but basically every man, woman, and child, even a baby that was just hours, day old babies, day old brand new babies were, they were putting the mask on them. Brand new babies were all having to wear the mask, and so this was to memorialize that. And that also what came in the transmissions and the work that I do, that a coronation ceremony was to be celebrated there. So this is a crowning ceremony, a ceremony. Except I did not know that Corona was there until later. So I had already known that this was going to be about a crowning ceremony from the previous work done in Egypt on Mount Sinai, where we did a crowning ceremony there. And so the Stargate was pulling in all this information and said, okay, you have to do a crowning ceremony. And now we're going to show you this little town called Corona, New Mexico. And it's right in the field. It's in the field of where I had activated that Stargate from from Santa Fe, New Mexico, all the way down to Roswell. This is a huge field. Actually, it's grown, and it is on the 33rd degree parallel. If you have information about the 33rd degree, I know some people have an understanding that this is a dark ley line or parallel, which is why we go in to do this ceremony and input the undistorted light in there. So this is an access point for all of us to be able to energetically, and certainly if you show up physically, we'll bring you to the Stargate. We'll be inputting all of our light directly into it, into that Stargate. Now that Stargate is Stargate number 1. So it's aligned to the child of light, which is the Southern Cross. There's a star at the center of the Southern Cross, which is an amber colored star. So if you're understanding amber lately, in this past 6 months or a few months or even longer, there's a connection to the child of light or the golden child's light of that star, okay? And so there may be some alignments and synchronizations for many in different ways as I'm sharing this. And so from May 27 to May 30 or 31, actually, I'm asking people to check in on the 27th because we do have tents and accommodation on location. Come in and check in early. The ceremonies and everything starts on the 28th and the 29th and the 30th over those 3 days. But come in early so you can check out the nature. There are some sacred areas in the sacred locations in this area, and relax. Take your time. We're not going to rush, and you'll have plenty of time to check out too. So May 27th to May 30 or 31, if you care to. We're moving the tents out on June 1st. So you have enough time if you want to stay longer, or you can figure that out.
So it's going
yeah.
So it's going to I'm looking at the calendar right now. So it's going to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's going to be on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. Is that the days?
Well, check in on the 27th. So there'll be things, we'll be sort of just gathering and mingling, and everybody be coming in on the 27th. You want that moment where people, you meet your tribe, you meet your friends and new friends, and then the itinerary is going to kick into gear on the 28th, 29, and 30. Now, I'm still putting up information, which I'm going to be doing this week, so you'll see that itinerary expand, have more details. Also, what we need to talk about in terms of going live, that Optimized Tribe goes live from Stargate number 1. Mel K's going live, Robert's going live, I'm going live, and opportunities to schedule maybe a few minutes or half an hour or so, or a few minutes with some of the elders, right? If you care to have an interview and go live with the elders too, they've been prepared and they know and they're excited about it as well. So I've kind of shared a kind of a loose schedule with them. I don't want them under any pressure to be here and there and everywhere. I'm just they're going to do an opening ceremony. They're going to be part of sharing wisdom, and then they'll be kind of mingling. They'll get a couple of days to mingle around and talk with you guys, and kind of in the flow of things, So
it's going to be amazing. I can just tell everybody in the group right now, because she's in there. Cinnamon Burke. Cinnamon, what's up, mama? So she's in there right now, and she and I are going to talk, and we're going to organize. She's going to be kind of the event planner for this, for Optimized Tribe members to set this up. So you guys will be hearing much more about this, both in the group and via email from Michael and I would say within the next week. Definitely before I go to Miami next week for the doctor's conference I have to speak at. But I promise you guys, we'll be getting more information out about that soon. It's not far away. It's obviously about 2 months, a little less than 2 months away. So we'll be letting you guys know about that more.
Fantastic. We have a great company in Albuquerque that has the tents and the accommodation. We can expand, so we can scale up. We can scale up to accommodate everybody if they decide they want to be on location. There is a hotel close by in Vaughan, which is 30 minutes from the property. Then there's also Albuquerque and New Mexico, Roswell, which are about 90-minute drive. And also there's an option for general admission. You can also bring a tent, and you can pitch a tent, which will be included in your general admission. And so we're just kind of on the flow with those things, and we'll add more information on the website shortly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a moment that I don't know if you know, but the last time the Earth Elders, attempted to do a gathering was at Burning Mask during the Power of Prayer, right? So with Red Lightning, and Red Lightning had their camp, and that was the last time, and that I believe that the elders were in sync with this, and so this time now it's been a while since the Power of Prayer, and the elders are really interested in being involved with. There's no drugs, there's no alcohol, there's not even any plant medicine. None of it will be possible for that to enter into this gathering. This is totally light medicine, totally light technology, totally natural, au natural, right? So this will be the first one, I believe, and I've heard of its kind, that the elders are going to attend, where we're gathering with many age groups. Children are invited to come too as well. And so, so my experience, I know what happened at the Power of Prayer wasn't totally agreeable to many of the elders. And so that happened only once. I don't know if you know, Power of Prayer happened only once. And it was said that it would not happen again, and it didn't. So there's been this timing, the timing has been, for this is perfect. The celestial elders, meaning the ascended masters, meaning the archangels, meaning the highest vibration of the undistorted light is involved here in this particular Stargate, and in this particular, on this ley line, the 33rd degree parallel, right? And you guys are too, because you guys know also what's going on underground in there, right?
Okay.
Roswell and all over I've seen the maps, right? And so this gives this gives our general public and your members and even in our viewerships, opportunity to come and meet you in person, but also participate in injecting really high consciousness and high vibration, frequency, energy, and magnetics. It will be visceral. It will be so tangible. There will be so much body in that energy during this ceremony. And I'll be putting the details out for that ceremony, and how and what are the protocols, what's the sequence from start to middle to end of what the procession will be. And it is a protocol that is aligned with Lemuria. Okay, so I'm going to be inputting that information to everyone and share that out. And so, yeah, and they can take that away with them, because there's protocols and modalities they can work with, that they can work with and utilize for their own practices.
Excellent.
As well as some of the tools.
Yeah. When I had I would say my spiritual awakening, it was from Native American spiritual practices that completely, opened me up, opened up all the abilities that I have right now. When I was still in SEAL teams, I did that. Mm-hmm. So I work with a lot of these groups over the years, but what you have going on, Huna, with your House of Huna, guys, go to hoh.earth and you'll be able to see the website basically outlines some of the stuff. So it looks like one of the most fantastic I've seen. So if you're like you're talking about, go ahead. What'd you say?
Oh, I said totally. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're like we're talking about, if you want to take your spiritual practices to the next level, this is probably going to be the event of a lifetime. It's going to be really amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. I have one of those pulls to this greater than anything I've ever witnessed or done before. So you also have I noticed that you have JCK. Is she coming as well from Australia?
Mel K.
No, you got JCK up there too. You got Mel K and
I
JCK.
did. Oh, I have their links on the website. Oh, okay. Did I put it on the itinerary?
Yeah. Well, you just have you have Roberts, Digital Warrior Productions, Michael's, mine, Mel K, and then you have JCK.
Yeah, those are the links that I have, just supporting your guys' links.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And hey, I mean, I know there's, it'd be great if JC and others do come. And I can also reach out to them now that you mentioned that too. But I know Australia's being a little bit stubborn at this
It's
moment.
really tough to get out of Australia. You got to have a
Yeah,
private
pretty
jet to get
stubborn.
out of Australia.
Yeah. I mean, I was supposed to go there at the end of this month because the Huna's there getting all set up for my workshop. And I can go in with my New Zealand passport, except they're gonna want to do the 14-day. So I mean, if they ease off a little bit, that'd be great. But I've shifted it all to August for this year in August anyway.
Wow.
So. But yes, absolutely. With you guys there and the optimized tribe and what you espouse to, will increase the field as we are standing in that location with that location and that vortex and that stargate, and the frequency is the child of light frequency. And let me just share, and maybe you guys may already have an understanding of this, but as I share the child of light frequency, what I'm saying is if you put up your right hand, this is Father, positive energy to the right hand, the right side of the body. If you put up your left hand, this is the neutral energy, the grounding and the earthing. This is Mother. So this is Father, this is Mother. And so where's the child, right? Well, these hands belong to the child. So this is the child down the center here, right? So in order for this energy from Father to go to get grounded into a circuit, into a continuity, this child, or the child, has to make a decision on the switch. The child is the circuit breaker or the gatekeeper or the switch. And you decide, and you can turn that switch on and off, and you can flow this energy and you can increase that level of energy, right? So when I say the child of light, and we are talking about this particular stargate, for all of those that will arrive there, and I'll share more on this, and I do believe you will feel, you will feel that when you are taking the load, and you're carrying the load of the energy, and when the light of Father comes in and it's sitting here, and you feel the load, just like putting your finger on the grid to feel the load of the utility box. That's what's here. And then when you're ready to flip the switch on, switch the main on, boom, that energy just goes wham, and it starts in its circuitry and its circuit and its continuity. So when you feel that energy, even in your practices, what you're doing, right? You may have a feeling of this. You may recognize that feeling at the Stargate, but you may feel it at a much higher load, a much more powerful load, and that experience will be what they all take away when they take to their own practices and in part of their awakening. That load, understand that load is accessible to you through the child, as the child comes to neutrality, comes to the turning on of the gate, opening the door, if you will. Sometimes I call it the door of the child, but certainly in a very simple way, that's what I mean. Is it infinite? It is so infinite. The child of light frequency is so infinite. It is the most eldest and the most youngest, the most recent being and the most eldest being of all, which, as you know, is all of us. So we will bring that. We'll be bringing that to the Stargate.
Beautiful.
And that's why, it's very pure, very clear. It has no bindings and it has no chains, no bindings to religion or church or anything in any structure that is institutional structures. It is so infinite, universe, cosmic. And this will be a wonderful teaching, wonderful sharing for everyone.
Huna, do you think, let me ask
No,
you,
it doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to me.
let me ask you a question. And we ask a lot of our guests this question. and you're a perfect person to answer it because you're so attached to the spiritual ways of the indigenous. Is there any earth created, structure, especially during in religious aspects that's not been corrupted? Is there anything?
Anything that has not been corrupted. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. The mountain, the sky, uh, and the water. Water, and I know there's chemtrails and I know there's stuff in the water. But okay, look, the mountain, I can begin with the mountain. It is the most, they are the elders. They are the elders on the planet, right? The mountains. Because they're the first ones to breach the atmosphere when the land comes, right? Volcanoes, mountains. So an example is Lemuria began with a mountain called Mo'al, which means the first mountain of the world. So when it breached, okay, and then all civilizations came along and they placed their blanket at the base of the mountain, right? Everybody lived civilization. So what we're doing here is we're just peeling back the layers of civilizations to get back to the mountain. The mountain is still there. The mountain is still pure. The land is still pure. And as we are doing these practices, right? And because the planet will cleanse itself, or it constantly cleanses itself, right? Plastics that we may complain about, plastics and oil and all of these technologies. Understand that that's a reason why there's earthquakes, and that's the reason why there's volcanoes and lava spilling out, because it pulls all that stuff back in and it just returns it back to radiation and energy. It'll turn everything back to energy, as you both know. That process is pure, right?
Beautiful.
And that's the process we access. That process of like our skin cells, right? They're constantly rebuilding themselves every day, as you know, and you guys know all about that stuff and the optimize and health, and so and in the consciousness. So when we attach ourselves to this level of blueprint, the mountain is a blueprint. The mountain was here first, and it will be here last. And this is what Lemuria is, super nature. This is what Lemuria is all about, nature, about. Again, I used to say, you can't fly a spaceship without nature. You
Right.
need the electromagnetics. You need the global universal electric current. You can't turn on a toaster. You can't turn on your computer. And even if you did have a wireless energy, that's still nature.
Yeah.
Okay? You can't get past that. And that's on every planet and every fractal of space is nature.
Huna, let me share this with you. I've shared this with you already personally, but I want to share with the tribe. It's a perfect opportunity. Michael, I think in our first podcast, we talked a little bit about this, but when I went to Lake Titicaca, when I went to Peru in 2019, and we made a service, we had an indigenous guide who made a service to the lake, and it was my wife and I and my sales director, George, and his wife, and we were all crying. I mean, it was the most profound, life-altering experience to do this ceremony on the lake. And it wasn't plant medicine. We didn't do any of that or anything. It was just natural. Just, they made a ceremony with our guide, and the lake spoke to all of us, and every single one of us was crying. We had no idea why we were crying, other than that we felt the divine energy of Gaia, Mother Earth, Pachamama, rush through our bodies. And so I'm echoing what you're saying. It's so unbelievable. The energy of the planet is the spiritual essence of all of us. And it's like you have to learn to connect to that, whether it's Michael going into the mountains, me sitting in my backyard with my dog, Huna going to the ocean, putting his feet in the sand. Like all of us have to regularly do this to embrace that spiritual energy, because the corruption of planet Earth and humans is so high. It's like, it's mind boggling to me, but I just wanted to say that to you because, they taught me when I was there about Ani, which is divine reciprocity, and that all of the life is sentient and all of it is consciousness. The rocks, the trees, the mountain, the birds, everything in that ecosphere is sentient and alive and conscious. And you can feel it if you only attempt to connect to it.
And you speak and you share the word ani. There's also another word which is tani, which means the teardrop. It means the teardrop. So what is that honoring? To bring compassion, to increase your level of compassion. As we went from 2012 to 2021, that whole period between 2012 was known as the dispensation of compassion. And I've shared this with you before. That whole period for all to learn more deeply in the compassion as we let go of the barbaric age and the biblical times and all of those the lessons that we had learned. The biggest lesson for us was to
there's
receive
one guy
compassion.
who's this is Reality 365. He
Nice.
Michael's duplicating him. He's duplicating himself, replicating
I thought that was me.
himself. So yeah, that's absolutely. It doesn't take. I always share that the plant medicine is already in the light,
right.
because the plant medicine gets it from the light. The understanding is to connect to the land, the water, the sky, and the photosynthesis. And I think there's another word they use for photosynthesis, but it's in the dark. It requires no sunlight. It's like a biosynthesis. And so there's also that level of medicine in the darkness as well, where this planet actually, recharges, and the vibration is, the medicine can be created in the dark as well, inside the planet. It is said roughly 75% of our planet's energies, oxygen and medicines and synthesis is created inside the planet. Only a smaller percentage is from the trees on the planet itself. So it's not only that medicine is created from the light for the plant to have it, it is also created in the darkness. And so when you are, as a healer, and we are connecting in these ways, that these stargates, externally and internally, you from the dark to the light and the light to the dark, all medicines are available, all connections is available. And medicine also be in the love and the compassion that's all available in the light and in the dark as well. So this ceremony, this coronation ceremony, this burning mask is to burn away the mask and reveal the truth. And we are, as you know, you guys are revealing so much truth. It's getting whacked, man. People are getting just knocked over, because they're getting floored by the information that you're bringing out, and everyone's bringing out. And I can't believe that's what's happening. Waking them up is for sure. You're not just waking them up, you're shaking them up. And you've been doing that, It's not a wake up, it's a shake up, There's been plenty of earthquakes to align to that. It's a shake up, baby. And so I'm just incredibly honored and so excited that the celestial elders, the ascended masters, that those which you guys are, understand me, you guys are ascended masters here on the ground. Do you understand that? I'm going to say that right out. I'm going to say that to everybody, right? Everybody's listening, and I will honor these gentlemen here, and I'd like to honor all who are on this path at this level. This is releasing the planet from its chains and its bonds, and releasing the people. That movement is aligned to the ascended masters. You know what I mean? And the modalities they're sharing here, the tools and the technology. So anybody watching, these gentlemen, you're on the right channel, and all of those who are similarly doing this work, and as well as some of you who are already here watching, confirming that you are connected to, or if not, are an ascended master here in awakening. Yeah, just what's ascended master? I will say a celestial elder is how sometimes I speak to this. That the earth elders, for instance, these gentlemen here, and the celestial elders that they are, the ascended ones, they're in alignment. They're in alignment with their higher selves. And their actions prove that. Everyone's actions are proven, and you're going to get an opportunity at Burning Mass to reveal that truth. Now, we've got some interesting layout and an interesting plan for the Burning Mass to help you bring that out. I want to take our time at this. We're going to go slowly through this. We're not going to rush everything. We're not going to be running around in an ecstatic mode. I'm inviting everybody to be able to just take their time and tune into this, and be in the nature, because we're going to be in the nature. You're going to be out in Ponderosa campground. You're going to be out in the middle of nowhere and then everywhere at the same time. The connection is huge, right? I'm kind of glossing over all of this, but I'm just, forgive me. I'm so excited about this.
Oh,
And
that's awesome, man. We're excited to have you. And like I said, Michael and I feel very called to be in Corona, New Mexico. And like I said, we're going to bring a pretty sizable group with us. I have a really good feeling about that. So why don't you haven't had a chance yet to, I want you to talk in Lemurian light language at some point in the show, and not now maybe, but I know a lot of people that watched our first show together. Well, we've done all these shows now, but the show that you and I did back in December with Michael, when you spoke in the Lemurian light language, and then we put it on social media and it became viral. But why don't you just tell us what's happening right now? Give us your interpretation of events and where the Earth is going in relation to the golden age, which we know is coming.
yes, the planet's vibration, frequency, energy, magnetics, and an end in its population has risen. And it has risen to a large percentage. So I will share with everyone here that you loved Gaia so much that you helped Gaia raise up and elevate. Now, I speak to Gaia on this, but at the same time, I'm speaking to everybody. You loved Gaia so much that the feminine rising has risen. The feminine has risen now through your efforts. And the masculine has risen. So now that Gaia has ascended, let me say, the proof of that is that we are still roughly 8 billion people on the planet. Okay. For some of you who may know this and may have got this memo, may have heard a little bit about this, that some years ago, Gaia, the planet itself, had spoken, and that the Gaia was going to, I won't say, I'll say release 3 billion souls on the planet. She was going to allow to cater for the loss of life to the numbers of 3 billion. Now, in 2017, some powerful ceremonies were done at some of the towers and stargates around the world that I can tell you I've been involved in. Inside of Glastonbury, switching the coding inside of all the towers to realign the coding and the laws that will bring in the new Lemurian calendar. Was needed to bring in the calendar to take the Anunnaki of the highest lords of the lowest realms and the highest lords of the lowest realms to move most of them, the majority of them of 11 dimensions into those containers. I'm pointing over here, into the new birth signs. And it took a struggle, but it happened. Gaia had said she would be ready to drop 3 billion. And we said in the ceremonies for 2 years, including the ceremonies at Jerusalem on the Temple Mount, the ceremonies at the Wailing Wall. We were right there doing ceremonies and nobody could stop us. This you know how they are over there. We're standing right underneath a 888 Stargate, which is a 888 rainbow Stargate, opened up right underneath, right above the Hunas. And we had 54 Huna at the Wailing Wall ceremony in broad daylight in front of everybody. And the place was packed. And then everybody stopped around and they were looking up, and the 888, 24 dimensional rainbow Stargates opening. What we were doing, we were sending all what needed to be sent into the 24th dimension of these birth signs of Lemuria. I'm saying it this way, but it would have felt a whole nother thing around the world. Everybody would have been getting us in some kind of way or fashion. What that meant was we made a promise to God that we can bring the vibration, we can bring the light, we can do this. Allow us to show you that we can, and you will not need to do that. And there was a series of ceremonies that took place over the last 2 to 3 years. And I can say that especially for the Huna team, the House of Huna, there were 54 Hunas going at it. And then at some stages, there were 24 Hunas on different locations, groups. And then so here we are, Gaia, we were able to support Gaia to keep her word. And so 8 billion, 7 to 8 billion are still here. Now, what are the numbers on the planet that, in terms of loss of life? And you guys know this, much lower than they ever were and that they ever been, right? And of course, part of this mask and part of this pandemic, but has a much higher result and vibration to it. It really does, because we are all still here after a year of what they claimed that they were going to do since 1960 whatever, or 1950 whatever they said they were going to do, or further back, and we're still here. And so we got some cleaning up to do, but I'll share this. There's only the heaviest universe remaining, which is the smallest universe, which is the lowest, the lowest gods of the lowest realms remaining. And those little minions and their generals are running around down under there doing this stuff, is inside the human DNA, inside the spinal cord of the human, inside the vertebrae. That's how we're connected to each other, Draconian, Anunnaki, otherwise. That was done purposely during Fourth Lemuria, while we had the war. That's why we had the war in Fourth Lemuria, because the experiments and the betrayals were happening at that time. And so that is we're almost through it, people. We're almost cleaning out this vertebrae in our spine, right? In the human spine, in the DNA. How we know? Because the human DNA is a double-strand DNA with 24-strand DNA is and some call it junk. The rest of the DNA is junk. I'm here to let you know, that's connecting to the 24th dimension. We have that ability as the beings of living light, organic crystal that we are. Now that's so this the lower realm, right? The lowest lords of the lowest realms, and there are only a few of them, and they're tiny. They're not all that. They ain't all that, but they're making a lot of bluster, and it's enough to cause fear and continue causing the fear. Because why? Those memories of that fear are very powerful, and they come in from the biblical times. They bring the fear across from the barbaric age, and they bring it into now. They want to remind you that the devil, the Satan, the evil, and we understand that those are expressions, yeah. But I've been in ceremonies where I've seen the biggest one, and to me, he's that big. He's like, I got you between my fingers here. But I've also been asked not to counteract within the dimension. So I don't need to battle. Right? I do the continuum work with the stargates and the vibration and the light. I don't need to battle the material. I don't need to battle. There are those that do need to do the battle with the material, and that still means that still means it is still this little bitty universe, making out that it's a big universe of all the gods, because they say they go through the stargates. Let me tell you, those stargates are capped off at distorted light. That's why we shut them down at the other levels. They do not access anything higher than that universe. And they make out that, and there are others who go through the Gregorian calendar and the Gregorian systems are claiming, oh no, we're going to penetrate the light. I'm afraid the Gregorian has been capped off, along with its zodiacs, Libra, Sagittarius, Capricorn, all of that. There's a whole lot of education to start coming over into the super intelligence of nature, and the supporting what I call the tech support. Ascended masters are like the tech support, and it's not just their vibration, is also technology, as you know, that's here. Now, everybody will have their interpretation and their expression, but I'm just sharing with where I'm at. And so what is Gaia? Gaia is elevated. Gaia is no longer Gaia. Gaia is in the memory now because she has risen to a he and she. This, I refer to this moment as a planet of living light, of the organic crystal light beings that we are. And that this planet is a Huna, which means one light inside of many, many lights inside of one. That's what Huna means in the Lemurian language, right? And so I can only think of the essence to say Huna because it's, I know of no other language that's holding those four letters in one word, four-letter word that has that much energy in it. And I've explored it many times in many languages. You can say it in many languages, but I will challenge anyone to bring it to four letters. A planet of living light, one light inside of many, many inside of one light in action, and to say that in four letters. Now the lamas and the Buddhas and those, they understand it, and even yet they still they still want to speak the Vedic and the Ayurveda and the Brahma and the Ramana and bring it through the India. But I'll share with you, India came from third Lemuria. So we return everything back to the Kumara. We move back into that very powerful atomic nucleus of the fractal, which is spoken of as Huna, planet Huna. You could say it any other language, it's still planet Huna. Right. So now we're going, now she is a he and he is a she. Divine union is now available even more so than ever. The greatest love and the greatest light of all is available now, even more so than ever. And again, a ceremony like this that is coming during the burning mask. And this Stargate was the first one I activated a long time ago when I said, yes, finally, yes. I said, okay, finally, I will share and I will do it. I will do it my way. And it's not all about me, but I'm just sharing you. But there's alignment to the missions that of the celestial elders, the ascended masters, and all of you who've been doing this great, great work to honor you in recognition and acknowledgement, to share that wisdom. Now, every elder that's going to be there is going to have their 30 minutes to share on stage with you. You know, and so Gaia is like, if I can share with you, do you remember the first Earth? Do you remember her name? I do this sometimes when people may have another thought about what I'm saying. Then, can you remember the first Earth? Her name was Tara. Many don't remember the second one because that one there was like a long golden age of beautiful peace too. When we were just really getting used to being in the form wasn't until the second Earth, and that the name of that Earth was Maya, M-A-I-A, Maya. Okay, then who was after Maya?
Moo.
Hmm?
Moo.
Sophia.
Sophia.
Sophia. The Sophia codes, the mother codes. Mother rose again. She rose again during Sophia, and Shekinah arrived in the forms in the many cultures. And then who was the fourth one? Who was next? Gaia. Gaia was the next one. Fourth Earth, fourth Lemuria. So all our learnings and experiences over the last 500 million years, or the last 65 million years, was our lessons we were learning from Gaia, fourth Lemuria. Then it went down, Lemuria came down, and then Atlantis arrived. So I share these things, but so she has always ascended. She wanted to go back to the sixth Earth. She wanted to get back to the sixth dimension. And she through this, we have shared. This is something that's quite you may have connection to this, but even during Tara, she wanted to go back to the sixth dimension because she was brought into this dimension. And she tried to, but we wouldn't allow her. And I say the Lemurians tethered the planet to the sun so it would slow her roll. So the lesson would come for life to be created That was one of the most important actions that we did. Which, you know, the story about Maui, and that Maui captured the sun. Well, it's not really about Maui capturing the sun. It's about the planet being tethered to the sun, so physically the planet would not raise up to beyond the access point for life to be created. We were instrumental in holding her here during First Lemuria. As we announced we were coming from light into form, we really needed that to happen because of what happened on the other planets and in the other systems that we were, as you know, we've got plenty of stories about wars on the other planets.
Mhm.
We really needed this to happen. So Maui became known. That Maui is not a god, as a god is saying, as per se. Maui means the children of heaven. It was the children of heaven that contained her here. Maui means the descendants of first light. Maui. Yeah, it's a legendary name, but they also say Maui in the Middle East. If you didn't know that. They also say that in the Persian language. Maui or Mahdi. Mahdi, you would have heard that in the Farsi language, and that Mahdi, the holy warriors. Well, it's not really about being a fighting warrior, but that was imprinted, right? But it's really about the children of first light, Maui, Mahdi. It's another imprint of first light, distorted light. So bring it back to Maui, we're bringing it back to undistorted light, right? And so we brought all this, we're bringing the stargates back to undistorted light too, because Orion's wars, Sirius wars, everyone's wars, those three great stargates had to be reset in their frequencies to align to what needed to happen today, and for Gaia to raise up. That's why stargates and portals and the work that's done there is so important. And that's a work of ascended masters. And when you guys are working on your internal stargates, connecting everybody to it, that's the work of ascended masters, guides. And you've been to the places. You've been to the places. You go to the places. You know, and so what am I saying? This planet has risen up. People are awakening, and we are here to bring more of that vibration to everybody. From another perspective, a perspective that we're getting very close to disseminating, which is more compassion, even more compassion, even more love, the greatest love and the greatest light, I say, and we'll be able to put down the weapons, and we'll be able to put down these intentions of fighting, and in order we'll be able to put those, and those will be able to be laid to rest soon, very soon. And we hold them in the darkness until the light comes. Kimuria. We hold you in the darkness till the light comes. And we hold each other in the darkness till the light comes. Kimuria. And so that is truly the essence of Lemuria, as far as I understand.
So we see pretty much the planet seems to be captured by the dark forces right now. The coronavirus, you know, the mask,
Vaccine.
the vaccine is a huge one, you know, basically to you know, like you were talking about, taking down billions of people. What do you see going forward as far as that? And now I see, like you're talking about, there's an ascension, the love vibration and so forth is basically going to break us free. Jay and I have talked about how there's going to be basically a splitting where, you know, almost like two worlds where, you know, some people go into the negative realms, and there's many of us are going to travel into higher frequencies. What are your thoughts on that?
My challenge has always been in all the lifetimes of the Maria is to bring everybody up as rapid and as accelerated as possible through the work that I do. Of course, there are practical realities that the mask and this the passport, vaccine passport, all these things. And there may be some that I've shared recently that there are some that are on the front line, absolutely. But I will share this, even though they go on the front line and they may be taken, we hold them in the darkness till the light comes, meaning we must prepare the place for them to return to.
Right.
Because they will return. And I share this with everybody that even though, you might get upset at me and say there is no such thing as death.
Right.
And if this is a matrix, as everybody says, is this a matrix or a hologram? And we are playing, they're just playing tricks on, we're playing tricks on each other. Are we playing tricks on it? No, because who's a fool now? April 2nd came around. After April 1st, we did the ceremony when they upload on April 1, as I do every year. Upload, and then the download on April 2nd is who's a fool now? Okay, meaning you see the reality here. You see that it is a trickery, sleight of hand. It is sleight of hand. These are master magicians. Yes, they are dark ones, but they aren't all that big. They're like the lowest lords of the lowest realm. The only one remaining. There's trickery in the human.
Mhm.
There will be some human that are on the front line that are taking the jab, taking this, right? And they will and my job is to make sure that when they do return in the child of light frequency, that it is ready for them. You know the words. There are many houses, and the Lord is preparing them, right?
Mhm.
Well, I don't use the word Lord, and I don't use Lordess, because why? Now we're in divine union. I speak to the child of light as preparing them so the child of light can return, that they can. This is a consciousness thing, really, ladies and gentlemen, because this is trickery and sleight of hand that is happening. And as you know, look at the mainstream media, it's not even a White House, right? It's all trickery, right? And so we're moving so rapidly into revealing these things. Who's a fool now? I'm not saying that you are a fool. Am I saying you've been fooled? Yes, you were fooled. You were tricked. Now, here's Michael and Jay and everybody's bringing the truth to where am I at? There are some on the front line that will get caught by this, but understand that they have a place that they will be, when they return, and there'll be much higher vibration. We'll prepare it. And in the meantime, I continue my work, and others like me and like everybody else, we continue our work to bring the Lemurian modalities to help people awaken, helping them in light, help to bring their awareness to shake them up. I will continue to shake them up. That's what Burning Mask is also about. That is also what my work with the 48 Stargates is about. And the House of Huna is now in 29 countries, meaning I have practitioners all over the world now.
Mm.
And so, I'm getting to fund all that with the Jasara and the Nasara. I'll be funding all of those houses and getting them going so they can get even more of our Hunas out there, more light in action. What am I doing? I'm doing light in action. I'm doing the Huna. And so this has been asked for by all of us. We have this is what we've wanted. And so at this moment, this thing here navigates through it. If you have to be a bit of a raccoon pirate, be a pirate. use the game against them. You know how to do this. If you need to create the documents and things to move around and get everything that you need on your phone, there's plenty of masters and experts who are ascended masters that know how to create those things. Let me tell you, I just came from traveling and busting through all of that nonsense. Right? And so get some intelligence in there that'll help it out for your immediate reality, for what is your reality at this time. They say you gotta have a test, and you gotta have a test to get a document. Well, we tested that theory. They only need a document because it's a document you show at the airport. It's a document you show when you go through the ports. You don't stand in the line and get a PCR test while you're standing in line getting your boarding pass. You only take a document there. So what you need is a document.
Right.
What you need is an app on a phone. That's what you need. You don't need the vaccine. You just need an app on the phone or a passport. You know how many passports were created in the last 100 years?
There's going to be a huge black market.
The same thing, right?
You're right. There's going to be a huge gray market or black market or whatever for vaccine passports, fake apps, fake vaccines, everything.
There's going to be a pirate market, the raccoon pirate market, the Guardians of the Galaxy market, right? Right. You watch the movie.
Right. What's his name? Rocket.
What's his name? We're going to see Rocket and Groot if you want to talk to a tree, but you know what I mean. So these are the things we're discovering, and you know, we're on a planet of super intelligent beings, light beings that are letting you know, once you let go of the grip on yourself and the stress you're taking around you, and come to a moment where, God, I only need this and I need that. Now I figure out how to do that. Because the news is going to try to make everybody freak out. You see, it's a sleight of hand, trickery, right? They
Mhm.
want you to be in fear, so they're going to keep trying to pump you full of fear. They haven't actually implemented the things yet. Some things they haven't implemented. They're talking about it, but they haven't implemented it, right? Because it's not mandatory, some of these things. And there's also laws and rights and human rights. You can make yourself a certificate and even get a badge. Put a badge on. You say, I have this badge. This is the Constitution badge, and this is my constitutional right. Here's my badge. You know what I mean? Have that attitude. Go up, roll up to the gates, and if a cop is pulling you up or someone's pulling you up, trying to play tricks on you, say, here's my badge, it's the Constitution of this country, and these are my rights. And then you have a little piece of paper or a little document, say, here's my rights. Now go away. And if they want to arrest you, let them arrest you, because you can sue the crap out of them then,
Yep.
right? That's a doorway in. They won't hold you more than 12 hours. They won't hold you more than 24 hours. They know they'll be in trouble if they do that. So be brave. Be brave at this time. So a little bit of courage, bravery. Take it right to their face. Don't let them push you around. You don't have to argue and go, if this, if you, and if him, and if that, and just go, okay, you're going to arrest me? Now arrest me. Put your hands out. Don't even fight them. Smile while you're doing it and look them right in the face. And when you get through the cells and you get through processing, they won't even process it because they know that's illegal. Well, there may be some there may be some hard luck, some bad stories, tough stories, but let me just say, this is where we're at now. You have more courage and take them to task on this. You don't need to take this, and you only need to have a document. You only need to have an app, and if they don't like that, so what? It doesn't matter because it's all fake anyway, right? It's all sleight of hand trickery.
Let me play this because you just brought that up. Let me play this from, I think, Michael, you probably saw this, but this is from a guy who owns a church in New Zealand. Did you guys all see this yesterday? I'll just
Oh
play.
yeah, that was fabulous.
Yeah, we got to play it because it's one of the best things I've ever seen. I mean, this is,
We all need to be like this, definitely.
yeah, hold on. I'll play it right now. And I'll make it bigger here for everybody.
Get out. Immediately get out. Get out of this property immediately. Out. I don't want to hear anything. Out of this property immediately. I don't want to hear a word. Out. Out of this property immediately until you come back with a warrant. Out. Out. Out of this property immediately out. Immediately go out and don't come back. No, I don't want to talk to you. Not at all. Out of this property immediately out. Don't think what you have to say. Of this property, you Nazis, out.
Nazi.
Yep.
It's not allowed. Out of this property. You don't come back without the warrant. That's not me. You understand? Nazis are not welcome here. Out. Don't come back without the warrant. Do not come back without the warrant. You understand that? You're not welcome here. Nazis are not welcome here. Gestapo is not welcome here. Do not come back, you Nazi psychopath. People.
Nazi psychopaths. I love it.
Taking people in church during the
This is light in action. Yes.
Don't you dare coming back here.
I love this.
Did you say that was in New Zealand?
That's New Zealand.
Passover.
The cows are on the wrong side of the road if it's New Zealand.
And are planning to intimidate Christians during the holiest festival. Unbelievable. What is wrong with those sick psychopaths? It's beyond me.
Hmm. That's fantastic.
So yeah, it says advanced New Zealand. That's where it was.
Where?
In advanced New Zealand.
Oh. I was just looking at the vehicles. They're all parked on the US side.
Yeah, you know, maybe it is a US place, and it was published in New Zealand. So
I would say because yeah. Yeah. But anyway, that's what I mean. Courage, right?
Light in action. Light in action.
Yeah. Get out, you Nazis. So I share it this way. Light in action. Like this gentleman is light. He's demonstrating his power, his light in action, his truth, and he's absolutely correct. They don't have any documents to back what they're doing coming in like that, and so he's very aware of his rights. Right, so that is light in action, and to be afraid to yell and scream at them and be at the top of your voice if you have to. This doesn't mean your vibration or your frequency is any lower. It just shows how powerful your light can be, and for truth, right? But also you can do it quietly as well. I mean, it's quite simple. There have been individuals like, I don't know if I shared. I was coming back from Madrid, flying from Madrid to coming home. I don't know if I shared this story with you.
No, you didn't. Go ahead.
Well, I was sitting in, I took my mask off in the airport, and there's some guy yelling, screaming at me from way over. Yeah, your mask. And he's talking to me because I don't speak Spanish. But he was speaking bad English. So I got up, I put my mask on, I walked over to him and I said, who do you think you are yelling and screaming at me? And he goes, I'm a police officer. And I said, you don't look like a police officer. You're not in uniform. You're none of it. You're just some guy screaming and yelling. If you want to talk to me, you talk to me politely. You ask me politely. You don't go screaming around. And he goes, yeah, but you're disrespecting everybody. I said, so what? That doesn't mean you can start screaming around at me. He goes, we were getting really heated now. And I'm getting up above my level, and he's up to here on me. And I'm going, you don't even look like a cop. I'm just like, and he gets so frustrated, right? And I'm going at him. I'm not backing off. And another guy comes over, another big cop, much bigger. And he says to me, what's going on? I said, this guy is yelling and screaming at me and to do this and that. He says, he can give you a ticket. I said, give me a ticket then. If you're going to give me a ticket, doesn't mean you can yell and scream at me in front of all these people. Who do you think you are? And then the other guy, the little guy, he's like struggling. He puts on his gun belt. He's got, put my gun belt on, gets his jacket off, he's trying to put his uniform on. See, look, you don't even know how to put all this stuff on. You're all like crazy. What's the matter with you? And he's getting all upset. He goes, do you know there are people dying? I said, do you know people die every year? What are you trying to tell me? Who do you think you are? And we're yelling, screaming. We go top of our voice, right? So I was just getting him, and I was just squeezing back in, And then they both got frustrated and walked off.
That's
good.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah, good for you, brother.
But there are moments, I understand that not everybody will want to do that, but I'm kind of I'm like sometimes,
No, I did the same thing. Michael knows. I mean, I was in the hotel in Reno. I forget the name of it right now. Angela's in the group. She knows where I was. And the security guard came. Well, first, I was in the gym and I had my mask on the side of my ear and I wasn't wearing it. I was exercising. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not going to respirate into a mask. And the guy came to me and he was like, the girl that worked there said, sir, you need to put your mask on. I said, look, I work in the healthcare industry. I'm not putting a mask on while I respirate. And, I said, look, I only got 8 more minutes left. So, I knew when she walked away, the camera, the all-seeing eye in the hotel is watching. So then the red coat security guy came, and he was a young guy in good shape and everything, probably ex-military. And he was like, sir, I have to ask you to put your mask on. I said, look, dude, I'm not putting my mask on. I'm not going to exercise with my mask on. He said, sir, I just enforce the laws. And I said, you're not enforcing a law. You're enforcing an edict, a mandate from the state of the Nevada governor's office. It's not the law. So I went back and forth with him too, just like you did. But you're right. If you know how to say it and you do it tactically, and I wasn't, violent or confrontational, he eventually just walked away, you know, because I had 3 minutes left on my bike or 4 minutes left on my bike, and he knew that it wasn't worth like handcuffing me and taking me out. So you just have to be very cautious, and you have to be strategic, and you have to be calm when you speak to them. But like you said, light in action, know your rights, know what's going on. Do not let them manipulate you.
Very good. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I was teasing the guy too. Look at you can't even put your uniform on, man. You gotta wear that thing. He's got,
Get them all frustrated. Perfect.
Yeah. I kept going at it, but yeah, absolutely. So do the best you can, of course, and navigate around this. So play the game right back into, whether it's documents, whether it's apps, whether it's getting your constitutional rights and put them on a card and put them in your pocket, and you have them. Maybe make a nice card so you can feel official about these things. That's how you feel. You got to bring yourself to how you feel about these things. So get yourself a badge, get yourself a card, feel like you're part of the common law of the world, the universe, right? And liberation and opportunity is attached to it, is a main focus of it. So yeah, it is a lot of fun too. And I had a lot of fun these past months trying raccooning
Yeah.
around.
It's an attitude. You're right. You just have to remain calm if you're going to take them on. You can't let your ego run wild. You just like you said, have fun with it, but obviously know your rights and speak calm, calm tone, and don't get confrontational. And just say, look, man, you don't have the law, because they don't have the law behind them in anything that they're trying to enforce. It's all made up. It's Nazis.
And you catch them, and it's like you can catch them. They're like deer in the headlights sometimes.
Yes.
They get surprised. They don't realize, they don't think, well, they can just walk around. But when somebody goes right back at them, it's like, ooh, like just, just catch them on their back foot, But anyway, yeah. So, hey, why don't I share some codes? Yeah. And
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Good, tell you.
Oh, thank you.
we can take a moment with this. And let me see here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring this guy over. All right. This is my friend. This is Tani Maro. It means the long white dragon. He's got some adornments now. So, let me share this as well. Certainly when you're coming to Burning Mast, let me say it's Burning Mast. Bring your uniform. Bring your angelic uniform. Be in that, whether it's robes and beautiful garments for the ceremony. Don't just come in your sweatpants and all relaxed and things. Come and be adorned with beautiful garments and treat yourself right in this way. When you have these kind of moments and these kinds of ceremonies and this kind of vibration, what that will do is will allow your light to come out even more esteemed and dignified, and with 111% integrity being felt and shown through your garments and your implements. Right, I have these two implements. And so the white dragon, this dragon is totally all crystallized. He's fully crystallized in the paint. The paint is crystallized and been painted on him. Of course, there's two crystals here and one here, one there. And so this is an enduring crystal, this one right here. And then this one is quartz. And so and this one over here, it has an enduring crystal right here. This is called Tokoma Uta.
Beautiful.
Actually, this is natural. This is a vine. Vine created the nine. It's called. There's 9. If you can count, there's 9.
Wow.
From here to there is 9. And this wood is hickory. Now, if you don't know, hickory creates the peyote medicine. Where they get peyote medicine from is the hickory. The Cree natives are also, this is where they do with their medicines. And so these are all medicine implements, high vibration. Wear your uniforms, wear your bling, wear your rings, wear your things, and come to the ball, because this is a ball. This is a coronation. Yeah, it's a coronation ceremony of the royal family, and share your royalness with us. We want to see you too when you're, and not just burning mass, but I'm saying, and when you're going to wonderful ceremonies and gatherings, especially when the ascended master elders are there, and the earth elders are there, right? And also you may be one as well, you know, in sharing these understandings with you. And so with all your implements, with all your uniforms, and have your practice or your modalities, and be open to receiving expansion and expanded modalities as well. Be open to receiving the eternal memory, because you already know, and the knowledge is there. Just have to remind you, right? And so if I can invite you to us to go to the stillness for a moment and go to the cosmic eye, I will share a few codes with you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Recognize everybody who is here. From the stillness comes the sound. From the sound comes the understanding, and from the understanding comes the action. From the stillness comes the sound. From the sound comes the understanding, and from the understanding comes the action. From the stillness comes the sound. From the sound comes the understanding. From the understanding comes the action. From the action comes the understanding. From the understanding comes the sound. From the sound comes the stillness. First light, first breath, first birth, first love, first stone, first fire. Ma, ha, ka, wa, ta, he. Ta, wa, ka, ha, ma. There and back. Maha ka watahi, tawa kaha 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 ma ha ka wa ta. Kita haramane to arame te maname te kame te imi te matoranga te muyo te mananga fa tu akene fire ko mo te hirisanga te tina me te wari me te hiningaro me te matoranga a huna ina un ra in the light of days, inua in the light season, ina to in the light year, ni marana undistorted light, ni marana undistorted light. te ingoa, in the name of te to'iri, the vibration, te o, the frequency, te wana, the energy, wairua tapu, we remember you. I te ingoa, in the name of te whenua, the land, te rani, the sky, te katao, the water, wairua tapu, we remember you. I te ingoa, in the name of te whaia, the mother, matua, the father, tama, the child, wairua tapu, yes, we remember you. Tie, mauri, ora. Grateful for the breath of life.
It's beautiful.
Y'all just turned kumara colored, violet ray.
You know, like, boom, I'm surrounded. That's good.
You're surrounded by that, Michael. And Jay, it's all over like in your eyes.
It's powerful, beautiful. Yeah, everyone's saying powerful, it's beautiful. That was great. Thank you.
Oh, it doesn't belong to me. Yeah, I will share those, and people do. And part of my what I do, they come to learn these things. That's a small part. That's just a small opening. But I am honored to share and so grateful to connect here with everyone.
Let me actually share your site real quick.
Thank
So
you.
if people want to get sealed with you, you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah. Seal of the living light is an alignment to the planet of living light, Lemuria, first light. It is a polishing of your light. It's a re-energizing of your light. It is a purification of what distorted light that does not serve you to be cleared from you. It's very intense, very powerful, requires no plant medicine. It is all done through the light, and from the stillness comes the sound, from the sound comes the understanding, and from the understanding comes the action, as well as an injection of the fractal light energy. So it's known as the seal. It used to be called the seal of the child, and that served well, and it still is at that aspect. And as I share now the seal of the living light, I tell the story of the child within it. So that option there is an option for one person, 288, and the option with the 333 is when I do it on location with you. So people have come here to my home, flown around the world to come here and get sealed, and I usually take them to the beach, obviously, or to Cozumel, to the Goddess Island, and have that experience. I also take them sometimes to the Healing Lagoon of Atlantis, which is on the other side of Cozumel, which is the waters of first Atlantis. So it's a very powerful ceremony, an activation, initiation, and memory is returning through there, clearing what doesn't serve you, and going beyond the Akashic record into what we call the Waidua. You hear me say that in that phrase, in that sequence I shared. Waidua tapu refers to the eternal memory. It's also what is held within the soul, it's the eternal memory of the soul. It's really what energizes and the engine behind memory is love. Either for love, without love, fell out of love, crying because of love, went online to look for love. You know what I mean? And that sometimes where people have shut themselves down because of love, or opened themselves up because of love. And quite often, many shut themselves off from remembering anything, what happens. And then also people cut themselves and they cut cords. When you do these things, you cut yourself off from all the gifts that are of the potentialities, the ancestral potentialities, the gifts to come when you start cutting connections like this. But and so the seal of the living light re-energizes you so you may even hold yourself in the darkness till the light comes.
Mhm.
even though you may be going through certain situations in life, right? And I guide through this. I guide a person through this either online, through the Zoom, or in person. Now, I will be doing some seals at the Burning Mask, but we are only scheduling so many because we'll be very busy. My oversight team will be setting up the calendar for that. So,
So you have a bunch of courses too. Hopefully
Yep.
you guys can see that, but you guys can go to the top of his website, online courses, and he has all sorts of amazing stuff. The Lemurian calendar introduction course, I'm very familiar with. Light year course. I mean, you can see all this stuff is extremely affordable. You know, you guys, there's no complaints. I mean, obviously, Michael and I recommend you guys get sealed without question. But I mean, he's got tons of stuff on his website to interact with him. Is there anything else that you want to promote before, other than the burning mask ceremony?
Well, I do. I will be, and it's somewhat of a challenge, but I think we'll be okay in these coming weeks and month or two. I'll be going to after burning mask. I'm flying right over to Russia to do an activation of the Stargate for Archangel Michael and upgrading his frequency, connecting the Stargate and the location on the ground, which is Archangelisk. I never say it right because it's difficult to say, but Archangelisk, which means Archangel City, which is 1,000 miles north of St. Petersburg. It's up near the White Sea, and I'll be going there in June. I'm opening that up for people who wish to attend. I do open those up at times, and I'll share more information on that soon. And then also I'll be going to for July, end of June, early July, I'll be around Italy and Spain. I'll be doing some raccoon pirating around there. Okay, so if things are all smoothed out, then fine. But if you come in to meet me and do things, understand I'll be in that raccoon pirating mode. So you got to be in the flow with me. And then also to the UK and then Ireland and then home again. Then I have major ones coming up in August, which is Australia, Japan, and Mongolia, all in the same month. So I'll be in Australia for 2 weeks. Then I'll go straight to Japan. We have a big crew coming to Japan. That's another Stargate, Mount Fuji. And then another portal, an apex, North Star apex portal in Mongolia. Okay. At the same month in that 1 month, maybe late August, early September. So those are Stargates 18, 19, and 20. That'll be complete for this year, and it's somewhat of a challenge. Okay, so anybody who's contemplating on coming with me, you really have to understand how we're moving, because you have to be somewhat brave and courageous when you're on the road with us.
So are you still open to having people come see you in Playa del Carmen?
Yeah, well, I'm home for this month, but I'll be in. So I'm only, I'll be in May. I'll be in Roswell, New Mexico. I'm renting a house there, and then my team will be flying in from Oregon and California, and we'll be getting everything set up. So I'm home right now from April, but certainly after the UK and Europe, I'll be home for a little bit till I go to Australia. Then I'll be gone again. And so I won't be home till after September. But it's always sunny here in sunny, beautiful Playa del Carmen.
I mean,
as you know,
yeah.
anytime you come here, you're going to get the great weather.
I'm sure that, and Michael probably will possibly join us, but I'm pretty sure that we'll come down and see you in Playa in September. I mean, I love Playa. That's like one of my favorite places in the whole world anyway. So
I would love to.
as long as we have the free app, the fake app and the fake test and the fake everything, we'll be good. We'll be good.
I can hook you up with a test from here to back to there. So no worries.
Nice. That's
Mexico,
right now. Overcoming that stupid test. So that sounds good.
Oh, I did. We set that up. I got David Mahoney, and I just have to plug his name, David Mahoney and Dave Vickers. Man, these two guys, they know how to get around. They know how to do it. So also checking with those guys, but yeah, we have access here with credible documents that we've been helping people these past
Yeah,
couple.
that's one of my friend in Cabo says he has one too for the app. So I mean, I think Michael, we can go to Mexico now, honestly, because you can fly in. It's just when you come back. So now all you have to do is just show the app at
Exactly.
the airport. Tested, COVID free, same shit. You just fill out on the airline. Yep, when you get there, it says I haven't been sick or exposed. I mean, it's the same thing they make you do if you fly up to the Northeast. Anybody who flies from California to New Jersey or any of that bull, you have to go through it. Texas, I just flew to Texas last week and nothing. California to Texas, nothing. But my friend, I told you about this. But so for all of you guys, you can definitely go to Mexico. If you're skimping on going to Mexico due to the nonsense, don't be. I'll be putting a app in the group probably within the next 2 or 3 days, or how to get access to it. So if you do want to fly to Mexico, I don't know if it works outside of Mexico. I'll find out, but I know that there is absolutely an app that when you fly to Mexico and you come back into the States, you just have to show the app that you were tested in Mexico, which is made up, and you're good to go. Because I just had like 5 different people use it. They're like, nothing, no problems. And by the way, there's no one traveling from the States to Mexico. So, I mean, like if you want to have an amazing trip, now's the time to go because there's literally nobody there.
Wow.
And prices are dirt cheap. Like you can stay at a 5-star resort in Playa for nothing. Literally nothing.
We have a lot of people here. The energy is beautiful. The people coming in are so like they bring their energy, and it's like they let out all that beautiful energy release, right? So we're getting that vibration here, the liberation feeling. It's beautiful. Anything else? So, what can I say? You guys know all what's going on. We're in sync here. We've been seeing the hummingbird, right? People have been seeing the hummingbird, which is important for what was done at Stargate 17, which is going to last all the way through the next 22 years, by the way, because of Jupiter and Saturn, and that energy that they're bringing to support the house of Huna. And I share this before if we're winding down here, is that I know, and I've been watching what's been said on the social medias. I'm still on the social media. I'm still on YouTube. I've been so far, I've not been able to, and I'll share that everything that is shared in the energy of darkness can be flipped to the light. So when the words are spoken about Jupiter and Saturn being of the darkness and Satan and all this, understand that is also, there's a flip side to that.
Yep.
That Jupiter is the feminine. Understand that that's the feminine energy, and Jupiter supports that energy for this planet. And Saturn is the father energy, supports this planet. It's also supporting the light and the vibration of mankind. It's not only about what they're just trying to trick and sleight of hand everybody, which they've been doing. So I'll share this with you. We speak to Jupiter and Saturn in the Lemurian language, and this is how we share it. Pa re ro. Pa means Mother Earth or home, means Mother Earth or the kingdom. Ro means the expansive of space, Sky Father. All right, you know these stories, Mother Earth and Sky Father. And re refers to re refers to the royalty, which is re in the Italian and the Latin means the royalty. We take that further and share it in the energy, which is re, which means royal family. And so Pa and Ro are supporting their energies are supporting the royal family. That's another reason why this coronation ceremony in Corona, New Mexico, is going to be jacked up, because we're tied to the stargates into that understanding. And I know I am. And I will share that this way, that have courage and be brave. Do not be swayed from these imprints of the stories about our planets. Because when we move them out of the language of gods and warriors and we bring them back to Lemuria, we raise their vibration back much higher, and then you can access the same planets that they have been spoken about in a bad way. You can access them on their higher side, because they are also beings like you. Planets and stars are beings right? Just like, okay, for instance, when you meditate and you learn your meditation and you practice it, to become Buddha status, you must move into an area where you can meditate for 500,000 years. That's Buddha status. You understand me? Physically, what that is. That's how we gauge this. To become a planet at a level 10 fractal being, you must meditate for 5 billion years. Okay. And so I share it this way, so you have your understanding here of the gauge, what it takes. And these are beings, because these are beings, these stars and these planets are beings, just like the one we're sitting on. And so they all at their higher self, right? They have their higher selves as we do too. And if you are connecting to a planet and a star this way, connect to the higher side. But there are those that will try to trick you and manipulate that energy of that planet. And they have done so, right? You can name many cultures that do that. I can also share with you the Lemurian understanding and the culture and the super nature that can share the higher life. And I do that. And I'll look forward to sharing more of this information, as I will be doing a wisdom sharing as well at the Burning Mast.
And by the way, we'll bring you on closer. Like I said, I'm talking to Cinnamon. I'm talking to Cinnamon tomorrow. And then Michael and I will talk, and we'll start posting about this at a meetup. One question from somebody, will they allow RVs into the area?
Yeah, the actual campground doesn't have the enough hookups. So we have a whole area that they've given us a whole side of the park. And so we're setting up RV drops. We'll have that on. We'll have that on the website, probably could be by the end of the week, if not early next week. You'll be able to register for your RV spot and stuff like that.
Beautiful. Yeah, I can see us running an RV like Michael, like Burning Man or something, and bring a bunch of people up there.
Absolutely. We've got some big silent running diesel generators. We have two 20K silent running diesel generators, one to take care of the RVs, another one to take care of the pavilions and other areas.
So Huna, I had now I understand why. I haven't seen a hummingbird in a long time. I'm up in Mount Shasta, so I'm sitting on the couch and I hear something. I look up, there's a hummingbird like looking right at me.
Wow.
Like, oh, now I get it now, what that was, that messenger. So that's beautiful, right?
Wow.
And today I went into this beautiful crystal store. I was looking for a bowl. I just kind of like, okay, what am I going to be led to? So there was a Lemurian bowl. It had gold, it's beautiful blue, and the sound, it was like unbelievable. And she says, this is like a Lemurian bowl. And I was like, now I get why I got that bowl. Oh my God.
Oh, you got the bowl. Oh, great.
Michael, break out the bowl. Break
the bowl out, brother.
I don't have it on me right now, but I will next time. Tomorrow I'll be taking bowl time.
Bring it to Burning Mast, please.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so we've got an incredible, we've got the 4 cardinal gateways with huge gate pillars being created by our team, 12-foot high, 10-foot expanse, and a circle around stage where the elders will be speaking. And we're going to put hanging projectors inside each of those 4 cardinal positions with projecting the images. And the way that we're doing the Burning Mast, we're not actually burning anything. We're going to show flames on the projector with the Burning Mast on the projection. But I also have a fire knife dancer coming, who's part of the Lemurian, the Samoan chief, with the Samoan chief that's coming. So they'll be doing the fire knife, the Siva Ofi.
Wow.
The Nifa Ofi, which is the fire knife. Yeah. So they're coming, and the Polynesian dancers from Tahiti, Hawaii, Samoa, and New Zealand.
It's going to be amazing, guys. I mean, if you're listening, you got to come. I mean, like I said,
yeah.
More information to come. Huna, as always, man, from my heart, from Michael's, we love you. We totally appreciate you. This was absolutely an amazing broadcast. You guys remember, go to HOAH.earth, HOH.earth. Visit the House of Huna. Make sure you get sealed, purchase some of his online courses, and just pay attention to the events and workshops. It says it's already up there, Burning Mast 2021, but they're going to be adding a bunch of stuff over the next couple of days. And again, we will be posting in the group when we have more information. But yeah, we're definitely going to rent RVs possibly some campgrounds, depending on where you guys are. And then the hotel, the closest hotels are what, about an hour away?
The Vaughan, 30 minutes away, of course, an hour with a return drive. The general admission, you can bring a tent if you wish to set up, or you can get a hotel, or you can rent general admission plus extra cost for the tents that we have, which has a bed and actually AstroTurf as well. So there's a floor in there.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, are kids welcome? Dogs? What
Yeah.
about dogs and kids?
We're just about to put up the admission for the children under 12 is free, and then young youth under 18 is I think going to be 144 for the weekend. It's only weekend. We don't do day passes, so if you're coming on one particular day and you miss another, tough titty. It's just you're going to pay the whole. You know? So that's just because my team right now we're running on a shoestring, so it's just all the labor is pretty intense for my team right now.
We understand. We understand. Well, we promise we'll bring a bunch of people. And like I said, you guys, we love all of you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow night, it's just going to be, as of now, me and Michael. We'll see you guys at 5 p.m. Again, go to hoh.earth and support Huna. We will see you guys very soon. Huna, I love you,
Thank you
man.
so
We'll be in
much.
touch, brother.
So much love. See you guys.
That's
Okay,
love.
guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Take care, Michael.
Bye.